us from your homes, from your cars, and maybe you are already at work. We appreciate you coming into the broadcast here at 95.7 um, the Boss Morning Show. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I enjoyed myself. I went to the Celebration of Life event. It was a celebration for breast cancer awareness survivors, sponsored or hosted by my sister's keeper. Maxine Jackson is the executive director over there. And so it was a nice event. They awarded and rewarded some of our survivors. They recognized survivors at, if you were 10 years out of being cancer free or in remission, then they recognized 15, 20, all the way up to I think 40 years of survival. Good morning, Staso.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing this? How are you this morning?
Doing good. I was just talking about the event I went to over the weekend. Celebration of Life, hosted by my sister's keeper. It was a wonderful event, and they did a lot of recognition for our survivors, and they remembered those that have already gained their wings due to breast cancer. And oh my gosh, it was a nice event. Dinner was wonderful, and just seeing all those faces that you know, people that you know around the community, and it was absolutely wonderful. If you guys know of a breast cancer survivor in the community, or if maybe you are one yourself, and you want some support, I would say get connected with my sister's keeper. That's what they're there for. They are a support group for cancer survivors. They are here locally in Omaha, Nebraska, and they've been around. I can't remember. I want to say at least 15 years. I may be off a little bit on my years.
I think she said that, Maxine, last week. Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
It's been definitely over a decade.
Yeah, so they've been around. So, oh my gosh, you know, utilize this support group. They have resources available. They even say you, for the holidays, you don't have the energy, or maybe you don't have family to cook a Thanksgiving meal. They'll even, go as far as to make sure that you get a Thanksgiving dinner, you and maybe some few members of your family. I mean, those are the type of resources. She also mentioned when Maxine was here last week at the studio for the Boss Morning Show, she mentioned about gas cards and just different resources they can provide just to help out that survivor that may be going through some, rough patch.
Yeah, she said, like if they have teenage kids or something like that, and someone is too tired, like say from radiation, that they will order pizza or do something, to minimize the work for them to have to do for the evening. So yeah, thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah. So shout out to my sister's keeper.
Big ups to my sister's keeper out there, representing for all the women going through, cancer.
Absolutely. And shout out to our breast cancer survivors and all cancers as well. Yeah. Here at the Boss Morning Show, at the 95.7 The Boss, we recognize and we support all of our cancer survivors. So what else is going on this morning? It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to rain a little bit.
Listen here. My arthritis says it is going to be damp today. I'm the forecast person. We don't forget the news. My arthritis is telling me it's going to be a little damp today. Okay.
So it's going to. The meteorologist says
the arthritis-ologist.
Something's going to happen this afternoon. So
y'all know the ones with it out there. Y'all feel me, okay?
Bring a jacket and maybe an umbrella. It's supposed to get a few showers later on today. All right, there we go.
It's going to be chilly today, without a doubt.
Yeah, it is going to be chilly. Like, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday supposed to be nice.
It's like 50 degrees, which is still not bad now.
It's just going to be cloudy. No sun's coming out today.
I'm not complaining because, Omaha, we can get downright cold.
It's October and the sun out, so... What you say, Bill? I'm getting that vitamin D.
Oh yeah, but get it while you can because it's going to be almost over with for sure. Omaha, Nebraska. It is the 21st of October. It's 7:09. Make sure you guys drive safe to work because it is slippery out there. When it rains, the gasoline, the oil come up and rise up from the streets. So make sure you guys be safe out there. Shouts out to all the bus drivers that play the boss in the morning.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Bus
they got
drivers.
radio stations now?
Heck yeah.
I don't remember hearing the radio on a bus when I was younger.
You know, back in the day, we used to listen to radio stations. Back in the day, used to be Sweet 98.
Yeah.
You know, back in the KBWH and KOWH. And so we listen to a variety of stations. But on the bus, you had to jam without a doubt. And so
you need some music.
Heck yeah. You know, I know we be jamming in the morning. Morning time. And so as we formulate our show, we're gonna get back to some more music as well, dialogue, but also we want to make sure that we bring you guys interesting guests so we can have a variety of conversations so we can stimulate thought and growth within our community, without a doubt.
Amen.
I'm going to play a video. I'm going to play audio. It's about 5 minutes long, and I heard it this weekend, and I got kind of been mellowed out since you brought the ladies here. I've been mellowed out. But today I'm kind of fired up because, every week, we get up and take our intelligent wealth, every money to somewhere else. And of course, we are the richest Black people on earth. Oh, yeah. So we got to change the dialogue and quit calling ourselves poor because we're God and goddesses. And whatever we think, we manifest that.
Yes.
And so if you think you're poor, you are poor.
Right.
However, I got statistics, y'all. I got some new statistics. And I told you how much money we have collectively. We just got to decide one day, like we did the 7am March, October 16, 1995, where 4 million Black men went to Washington, D.C. We just got to make a decision, just one decision, that we're going to do something together collectively and start a national agenda. We're going to have to start it here because they're not doing it nowhere else in the country. Washington, D.C., New York, L.A., they don't got nothing on us. Without a doubt, I keep telling you, we from the land of Malcolm X, y'all.
That's right.
We from the land of Malcolm X. So I want y'all to check out this audio and just see how much wealth we have. And hopefully it makes y'all mad too, like it made me mad. Of our complacency of wanting to be slave. We just relax. We just want to continue to be slaves. And so I'm going to point it out to you every day until I'm gone that we have way more power than that. Check this out. Boss with us.
Boss with us.
Black people spend on average.
Hold on a second. Let me get it right. Sometimes when you deal with technical stuff. Let me see if I get it right. Okay, I think it's clicking. You hear that clicking? That means it's about to work. Okay, so check this out, y'all. Boss with us. Oh, okay. It's not working. But I'm gonna play the audio on my mic. Yeah. I want you guys to really hear this. It's only about 4 minutes. Boss with us.
$1 a year on Jordan. $4 billion a year on liquor. $1 billion a year on fast food. You saw what just happened with Popeye. $40 million in a matter of hours.
Yes.
And we weren't even paid for that. Black women spend almost $20 billion a year on hair care and beauty products. But yet, there's not a Black community in the United States I can go to where you can show me a Black community that has all 4 of the essential institutions, which are a bank, a school, a supermarket, and a hospital. A bank to invest in the people, a supermarket to feed the people, a school to teach the people, and a hospital to save the people. How does a $2 trillion people, that's what we are, the richest group of Africans in the world, the 10th richest nation on the planet, there's only 9 groups of people who bring home more take-home pay than African Americans do. And we don't have an independent community. There's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, slavery destroyed our desire to control our destiny. That's number 1.
Yes.
And after slavery destroyed it, religion came in and glorified the fact that we wanted no control over our destiny by saying you need not worry about building a nation. Just pray and God will take care of it. The problem with religion is not the religion. It's how Negroes who come in the name of Jesus and Muhammad teach it to politically uneducated black folks. There's nothing wrong with the Bible. There's nothing wrong with the Quran. But there's cowards in charge who don't want to use those books to wake black people up, so they rather put us to sleep. You see? Every bank that receives at least $250,000 a year, if a bank has a $250,000 revenue stream, they should have a bank. If a church has that, they should have a bank. If your church with at least $250,000, you must have a bank for two reasons. You bring in enough revenue to invest in us to the point where every black person in Pontiac should have their own business. No black woman should ever have to work for a white man in her life when you got black churches bringing that type of money in. You see? But they don't. So because the black church don't have a bank of their own, that means their money goes into a white bank. So on Sunday, you donate to church. They take your money, your black Jesus money, and put it in a white devil's bank. And then the white devil, stay with me, will take black people's Jesus money, and they will give it to other white devils to come into Pontiac and buy up your neighborhood and push you out with your own money. You see?
Okay? He's preaching tonight, isn't he?
I'll end with this. My biggest problem with black religion, I don't care which one you name,
Okay.
they all dysfunctional. My biggest problem with black religion is they teach us that we have to die to experience heaven.
Okay.
But the Chinese got his heaven right now. And the Arab got his heaven right now. And the Jew got his heaven right now. And the East Indian got his heaven right now. So why can everybody else have heaven now, but I can only get mine after I die? So for me, I'm going to get a heaven now. Okay. And I'm going to get a heaven during my life. And I'm going to get a heaven for my babies, or I'm going to die trying. See,
Okay.
the black man and woman have not made up their mind that they don't want to be slaves anymore. Frederick Douglass says something very prophetic. Frederick Douglass said, they didn't free us. Frederick Douglass said, they did not free us. They simply took the collars off and let us loose.
Oh, that was tight.
I'm mad.
Man, when I heard that, the brother brought me this knowledge, and he actually is from the church. Is it from the Quartey Church? Church of God, Living Christ.
Yeah.
Coach?
Yeah, how you is
Church
that?
of God in Christ.
Yeah.
That was Dr. Mark Johnson. If you guys follow him, you'll learn more about him if you've never heard. I follow him. He's actually been to Omaha before.
Yep, he did.
At UNO, I don't know if it was one of the departments at UNO that brought him in, but yes, he's been here. Has a big following.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this not Umar.
That was him talking.
No, this. Yeah, I guess it is. Oh, he
That
got more hair. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, that was him talking.
Yeah. He got more hair. Okay, I didn't recognize. He does have more hair. But that comes from the Mary Evans show. I just heard that this weekend, and just about how much money we spend. Black women spend $20 billion just to the Asians.
Exactly.
To the Asians. So we have money in every community. And so I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of saying that we poor when we are the richest Africans on earth.
Black people have a lot of money, believe it or not. Collectively, like he was saying, we could build banks. We could build our own hospitals.
Well, I've been tough on these ministers. I had a couple white what do you call them? Missionaries? You know how they do that? How the Jehovah's Witnesses do?
Oh, yeah.
They come out to your door.
Oh, yeah.
In the suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dressed up really nice.
Yep.
Black and white, black flags, white tops.
Like Men in Black.
And of course we started debating. I was trying to order me some pizza, shots of pizza for feed.
Oh my God, you're gonna start making me hungry.
Oh no.
Why do we always get
I'm Godfather, sorry. This like Chick-fil-A against Popeyes, Godfather against Pizza Hut. No.
And we just talk about religion and of course I've studied all religions and I have respect for all religions, but
Me
I'm just tough on them because right now, like I said, we gotta die in order to reach our heaven.
Mhm.
You know, I want to reach heaven now. You know what I mean? Right
I
now,
want heaven on earth.
Right.
Heaven on earth, right here.
So why we gotta die? Almost out of everybody that died that I seen, you know, I go sometimes I go to the grave site and just hang out with my homeboy.
Yeah.
You know, most people are scared, but I go hang out with my homeboy at the grave site. As with my mama. And then I walk around, you know, graveyard, and then some people died in the 1800s. Some people died, you know, they ain't came back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't seen them come back in the heavens on earth.
Right.
So let's think logically. My mama didn't get y'all education, but she had common sense. Let's get our heaven now. We have the tools, we have the intelligent wealth to get it done. And so I just wanted to play that audio. We're gonna play probably. I need to play this every day because I'm just tired of we standing in chicken lines and giving $3 billion to Popeye's chicken in one day. $3 billion we gave them for chicken.
I am so sorry, but that is hilarious, actually, because it does not make any sense at all. Like, invest that money into a business and go support your Black businesses, the real Black businesses.
Well, you know, we're going to be a little bit tougher on the community because, you know, tomorrow's not promised. And we have the next generation that's coming up that's dependent on someone to stand up like a real man and a real woman. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to get it here without a doubt. I know for a fact that collective economics work. This is how we got the radio station. All the equipment, I use collective economics. I would say about 25, 30 different people donated to the station from divisibles from $50 up to $1,000. And I got all the equipment, got donations. Most everything you see around here is either by donation or some kind of a bartership. Mm-hmm. And so we have the wealth, we have the intelligence, we have the skills, but yet we still want to be slaves. I think I call us the new masses.
The new masses.
The new masses.
The new masses.
Okay. Yes.
You know, massa. New massa. Okay, let me get my slave talk right. New massa. You want to be the new massa.
Ooh.
You know, you just want to sit on your porch and tell everybody else what to do.
Right.
And
they want to Samuel Jackson Django us.
Right.
We got time for that.
We have a Facebook Live viewer comment. You talked about working together. He says, this is Rachana Mizuki. Leslie Wright says it's teamwork. And it does take teamwork in our community to make things like this happen.
You know, we all got different skills.
Yes.
And so if everybody manifests their skill set, then of course it's going to benefit us all.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Be unstoppable, untouchable, boy. They just don't know.
So, man, ladies and gentlemen, we have the intelligence, we have the money to change our destiny. We're gonna put the pride of pressure on the community. We're gonna apply the pressure. And so, how we're gonna do it is we're gonna let y'all know about Winning Women and Teens Gala and Conference. Purposeful Me. That's going down this Friday. Dang it, man. That's this Friday, November 1st?
No. That's Friday after next.
Next Friday. Okay. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm thinking, boy, time is moving by fast.
Yes.
And so, you know, the women are stepping up. I think I seen maybe one men event, but the women in the community have been stepping up.
It has been a lot of women events.
Has been stepping up. And so we want to acknowledge the Winning Women. Go to their website, winningwomenomaha.com. You get some more information on that. They've been recognizing 10 Black distinguished women in the community. And so we got powerful women all over. Without a doubt, women represented 300% rise of all businesses in the United States last year. So our women have always been the backbone of our community. So the men got to step up. The men have to step up without a doubt. And so if you didn't hear that audio earlier, for those that got in line at what's that mug? What's it called? Popeye's Chicken. Got that Popeye's Chicken.
Don't you forget the name of Popeye's. No.
It just pissed me off
because Bill.
I mean, on that one day, we spent $3 billion on on some chicken.
I didn't get a sandwich.
I didn't get.
I didn't care. I'm serious.
I refuse. I'm not gonna get no sandwich.
I'm gonna fry my own chicken at home, okay, and buy a whole pack for the price of the sandwich.
Man, I'm
please.
Man, I'm tired of us saying that we're poor when we're not poor. We're not poor. This change, we might be broke. You know what I mean? We might be broke. That means we have the potential of having some money. But when you say poor, you're always going to be in that state of mind.
Yeah.
And so we got to change how we
have to change our mentality.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
Or how we view ourselves. We're not poor. My mama didn't raise me poor. Even though I grew up in the project, I know I was poor. We ate every day. Our neighbors gave us love.
Yeah.
I went to school every day.
You didn't go hungry.
Didn't go. I mean,
mom had your back.
My light was on, the gas was on. I was eating good. I smelled the food walking up to my house every day.
Right.
So I had a life rich in love, I guess.
So what we gonna do? Are we gonna continue to stay in the situation we are? No, we're gonna step it up this year. So we're gonna start out this way, y'all. We're gonna play some music, and I'm feeling like since I'll be tough on the ministers, because like we said, we need black banks. I went to the ministers before they closed. It was on 16th Street. What was they called? The restaurant on 16th Street before they closed.
Levadas. Look at me. I want Levadas to open back. Levada, where you at? No.
What was it called? Man,
I know.
I want to say it was open by the Duns.
Done Deal?
Yeah, Done Deal.
Right.
Yeah, Done Deal. Oh man.
Deal.
I missed that breakfast. What's that breakfast? It had the salmon croquettes with the rice and the eggs. Oh my God.
The eggs and the grits was banging down here. Woo.
So I was in there one day because we used to eat breakfast there all the time, and the ministers came. There's a lot of ministers from Omaha. Yeah, and call your ministers now. I don't care if you tattletale.
I ain't got nothing to do with y'all pastor. This bill.
So,
people come after me, but they pastor.
Tattletale. But I went to this group of ministers, and I always had an idea of collective economics. I said, and there's several ministers. This is when the minister, the blind minister, was still alive. The guy with the broom.
The brother, I don't remember. I know you talking about.
It was a minister that sold brooms. He was blind.
Oh yeah.
They call him the broom man. I think they'll be making a statue of him. And so, he was at the table too. And so, I went up to the ministers and I said, how y'all doing? They knew who I was because, and I said, I had an idea for you guys. I said, all these black churches, y'all collect all this money on Sunday. I said, why don't y'all get a bank and put all y'all money in that one bank? Now your congregation can have the potential of getting loans because you know the other institutions have redlined us.
Right.
And they sat back and they're eating grits and bacon and ham,
shrimp. No,
they bellies out. You know what I mean? They sat back and start laughing. Oh man, young man, we can't do that. And you know why they couldn't do that?
I want to know why.
Because they don't trust each other.
Oh wow.
That's what the blind minister told me. He came to me afterwards.
Okay.
Because he seen how disrespectful the ministers were in their laughter because I was very sincere.
Right.
And he just told me basically, he said, ministers don't trust each other. And so that's true.
Sad.
And when it comes to women ministers, see, y'all to speak on this. I will speak on this.
Don't talk about women ministers now. I got two of them in my family.
The women ministers do not get the same respect as the men ministers.
No, they don't.
And they say they're supposed to be representing God. Come on, fraud. You're a fraud. If you don't give the women the same respect because they have callings also.
That's right.
So the truth, where were you at? So the truth, we're doing her thing. Harriet Tubman, where were you at, black man? You better be quiet or you'll get shot.
That's where did the women learn? Exactly.
That's how strong black women have been. And as you see, Frederick Douglass said, we have been free. The collars just been released and just let us run around now. And so I gotta come tough on those that control the minds and the wealth of our people, because every Sunday we donate to a black Jesus, like you said, and then y'all go put the black Jesus money in a white bank that don't look like us, that isn't giving us loans. This is just common sense. This is what my mama taught me. Y'all educated Negroes.
Right.
Y'all high and mighty Negroes that think y'all can read and write. But y'all have not moved the needle. Master's degree or PhD, Negro. You have not moved. You have not moved the needle for our freedom. My mama with more common sense that couldn't read or write because she had picked cotton for y'all for free. Y'all run around y'all cotton shirts and cotton pants, forgetting what your ancestors sacrificed for y'all. Oh man, I'm pissed off because y'all spent $3 billion on some chicken at Popeye's Chicken. $3 billion in one day y'all spent for some chicken.
Right.
Don't get mad at me because you're on the line. I wasn't in the line.
Me either.
And it was a test on how they're gonna poison y'all one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them Negroes some chicken. They're gonna get in the line.
Think about it. Think about that.
They're gonna get in the line without a doubt. So this is William King talking, if you guys want to know, because I love my community, and I know for a fact that collective economics is the way we're gonna do it. Collective intelligence.
Yes.
Is the way we're gonna do it. And so we gotta choose. We gotta choose if we want to continue to be slaves, crying, whining, begging.
Right.
Or we're gonna use what God's already given us.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, my mama prayed for me so much because I got 2 brothers got killed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I got these chumps. You can't intimidate me. From Hilltop Project, I got 2 brothers got killed. One by white boys, one by Negroes. So you're dealing with a different animal here. Dealing with a different animal. And I'm intelligent and handsome. Get it from my mom and my daddy.
This guy right here.
Sure, hey, I brag on my God skills. I can't help it, y'all. I can't help it. You know, they say that guy. What's wrong with that guy? Man, but I'm just pissed off because y'all stood in line at Popeye's Chicken. Y'all gave them $3 billion. And we got people in our own community can't pay their gas bill or light bills this morning.
We have Minister Ralph Gaston, Associate Pastor at Greater New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. We know where that is.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in New Hope Baptist Church under Reverend Kelly. We need some ministers like Reverend Kelly to come back because these new janky ministers are inheriting congregations. They didn't build nothing.
Yep.
They didn't build nothing. They inherited congregations. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. My man, Alonzo Mitchell, who just died early this year, he did the work of Jesus, without a doubt. Ask the young people in the community about Alonzo Mitchell. And I guarantee you get more clout than any minister in the hood. He had about 2,000 some people show up for his wake.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Salem was packed.
Ooh,
It was like church in there.
Mm-hmm.
At his wake. Oh, he couldn't see his funeral. He couldn't get everybody in there. And this is my teammate. He coached young men and young women ever since we got out of college. That's doing the work of Jesus.
Right.
Kids was running to the hospital when they found out.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't doing that to no minister.
Right.
So get mad at me, minister, because if y'all ain't working together and putting your money collectively together and supporting your own congregation. Oh, yes, I'm pissed off this morning.
Associate Pastor Ralph Gaston says, "Good morning, Black man. Can I come on your show and talk with you about us ministers?"
Bring your friends, bring the whole congregation. I need more than one minister because I don't think one minister can handle me right now. Because the ethics of what has been done, you can't see no results. I don't see no results of what the church have done. I see no results. We are still poor or broke. Per se, we ain't poor, we broke. But somebody got to spit the fire. Somebody got to stimulate the well, and so we can have some growth. But you're not dealing with a slave here. My last name is King. My mama raised me as a man, and so I cannot be nothing other than what my mama taught me. She made for sure that I ain't picked no cotton. She made for sure that she couldn't read, that I could read.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no excuses. There's no excuses for a mama that couldn't read or write. And I used to drive her to white folks' house, and she's clean their house up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But y'all don't appreciate what y'all parents do for y'all. Y'all don't appreciate what y'all grandmother and grandfather sacrificed for y'all. You don't. Y'all going by Gucci and eating Popeye's chicken with y'all greasy hands. We got a guest coming up.
He's on fire this
and
morning.
the chicken is killing y'all anyway. That old fried chicken. Y'all need to start eating better.
William King is on fire.
I'm about to get out here. I'm about to go.
Chubby checker.
I'm about to go get some water and cool off.
Maybe we'll have some ministers and pastors come in.
I don't got nothing to do with y'all pastors. Congregation to come after you.
Hey, bring the top pastors in here. I'll tell you that they don't want to come because they don't get along, and I can prove it because they do not even work. Now, brother, the pastor Lucas. Now, Pastor Lucas.
John Lucas?
Yeah, John Lucas.
Okay.
Now he's one of the exceptions. John Lucas, now pastor.
He's like,
I do love Pastor Lucas because Pastor Lucas, he wasn't afraid to come in here. You know what I mean? And we had a serious dialogue, but also he reached out to other churches in order to put on function together. And that's what churches need to do. They need to be the example of brotherhood and sisterhood.
And historically, our churches are our backbone to our communities. We're supposed to be relying on our churches to support us in times of need and coming together, teaching us, being the role model of of unity.
Well, they got weaker. They got weaker. You know what? I think they did a survey on the status of profession, and ministers are way down there.
So we need some ministers.
Ministers
to come to
are they way down there.
We need some real ministers, unlike Pastor Wilson the other day.
Who Pastor Wilson? What do you do?
We need some pastors that's trying to. What happened? Look, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen that video of Pastor Wilson over the weekend, and he was going down on one of his.
You talking about?
On one of his congregation, female.
David E. Wilson, Pastor David E. Wilson. He was caught in the act of. It wasn't his wife, and he was going downtown on one of his ladies in the church, and she posted the video. Oh,
Lord!
These pastors out here, they doing too much.
Right?
They doing too much in the congregation. They ain't doing enough for the community, and that's why I don't go to church. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what?
I don't trust them.
Well, you know what?
Not to you, Pastor Reverend Ralph, that's tuning in.
Ralph,
I haven't personally went to your church.
Said, I'm on my way.
Oh,
well, if this is what it takes you to get here, come on. We welcome you here at 95.7 The Boston Morning Show. We have a guest that is patiently waiting. We're gonna have to take a break before associate pastor gets here.
I'm going to hell.
No, you're not.
I need some olive oil this morning. Bring some olive oil. Bring some olive oil.
With the blood of Jesus.
Pastor, bring the oil. Bring the oil. Anyone want to get prayed for? Come on down to 95.7 The Boss this morning. We can make it happen.
Hey, we do believe in God, and I do pray. So we're gonna play this song for y'all just to let y'all know how much I love the Lord.
I hope it's Christ loves praise because I need it right now.
God bless you. God bless you all.
I'm so excited. I'm finally in a place where I can shout all my troubles over. God, you really been good to me. When it's all over, when it's all over, oh, when it's all over, we will shout. Woo, we will shout. Oh, we will shout. The victory. got anything that you need to give God a praise for, He really been good. Shout, shout. I've been waiting a mighty long time to see that the welcome table. I'm getting excited right here. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait to shout. I've been waiting a mighty long time to sit at my Jesus' feet. Yeah. Oh, He made a way out of no way. He made a way out of no way. Nobody could do it like you, Jesus. No. He made a way. Oh, He been good. Yeah. He really been good. Yes, you have. So many times, Lord, you made a way for me. You really, 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 really. Oh, He made a way out of no way. He turned my darkness into day. So many times I wanted to give up. Nobody could do it.
All right, Omaha. I do really love the Lord. My mama actually taught me about God, so I know how much she tithed, she gave to the church, and I just want to make sure that's reciprocated. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of Southern folk that really embrace the Spirit of God, and so I'm just committed to the change. We do have a guest. I'm going to yield for a little bit. I'm going to let the ladies take over. Oh, yeah. You know how the boss says do it. They outnumber me right now. So we're going to let them do their thing. We have a very important guest in the house. She's talking about some secrets. Fellas, I'm telling you. Fellas, really sit back and listen on this one, y'all. Fellas, really listen. Because we think we smooth. We think we slick. Oh no. See, ladies, they be using their intuition. They be using that's a God skill. Intuition is a God skill. And a lot of people don't know about that. And that's why I've really been working on my God skills. And so women really have the skill of intuition, which is a great quality to manifest. And it's like a muscle. And as long as they keep using it, it's gonna get stronger. And intuition that it's gonna get even sharper. I look at it as being able to see the future. And so take a sit back, fellas, get some cornflakes or whatever you want to do. Get your coffee, get your slippers on. And I want you guys to sit back and listen to these girl secrets, fellas. All right? I'm gonna yell right now. I'm gonna yell out quietly. I'm gonna bag out because you know how these women are, y'all. Sometimes they used to be like my mama, boy, you better get up or you ain't getting nothing to eat today and clean up. So I'm finna get out of here. I'm gonna let them do their thing, and I might pop in every once in a while because I'm just want to just listen to all these girl secrets. Shh. I'll be right back with you. They're going to be right back with you.
Good morning. Good morning, Omaha, Nebraska. We on a roll here this morning.
We are on a roll like Tina Turner, rolling.
This is yours truly, Martine
and Staso.
We welcome you to the Boss Morning Show. We have a special guest here, 95.7 The Boss.
The beautiful Nicole Lewis. She's so beautiful, guys.
Is in the house. And why do I have to hold this mic? I'm so used to it.
Right.
But anyway, we have her in the house. She is going to talk about her journey as an author, and she's also a speaker, which we know as authors that leads into another realm. We start speaking and sharing our gift with other people. She's brought in her book, A Girl's Secret. And so we welcome you to the Boss Morning Show.
Let's hand it. I'm headed to the
Okay.
I'm gonna slide it to you. I was about to slide off this chair.
We welcome you to the Boss Morning Show. Nicole Lewis, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
That's the book.
Doing
you want
great.
The book stand to put it right there, so kind of like sit next to you by the.
We're getting situated here. All right. So, Nicole, how are you doing this morning? It's a beautiful morning. You've made it here to the station. We appreciate you. It's early.
Yeah.
Let us know how you're feeling right now.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful morning this morning. So.
Okay. All right. Great. So I met you at a networking event, and she's a beautiful lady. Our Facebook Live viewers, we welcome you. You can see this beautiful lady. She is just like, and we're all streaming live from our Facebook pages. Those we appreciate our listeners here. If you guys could hop on Facebook Live, you'll see how beautiful she is. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, Nicole. Your background, your family makeup, if you married, kids, all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I am married. This month will be our 14-year anniversary. I have 3 children. I will soon be a grandmother, hopefully any day now.
Is that right?
Congratulations.
So I'm super excited about that. My youngest is 16 and my oldest is 23. And I have an 18-year-old who is at Metro Community College. She is the youngest commercial drone pilot in the state of Nebraska.
Wow.
Oh
Big
my
ups
gosh.
to her.
She is actually a little bit about her. She is actually looking at getting other young teenagers certified as commercial drone pilots.
Drone, you're saying drone pilots,
Drone.
the little drone things that fly up in the air.
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
control it with a remote and they can see everything. I love those drones.
Yeah.
Those change the game as far as, getting viewings of, different angles from above.
Oh, yeah. And they're looking, I guess she was telling me that there's going to be over 400,000 jobs opening up within the next few years.
Is that right?
So she is wanting to make sure that she gets as many people certified as possible.
That's wonderful. So I know you've been in different places. You've been interviewed on different platforms. The Reader has a good write-up about you, of your journey. Now, how did you get to the stage of being an author? What led you up to wanting to write your story?
Oddly enough, I have been speaking for 10 years on my topic of my life, as well as child abuse, child sexual trauma, sex addiction, personal development. So a number of different topics. And so what I did is never did I think I was going to be an author.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I think I was going to be a speaker. That was not what my
intentions were.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not,
You just wanted to
I didn't
share
even
your
plan.
story, or
I didn't even plan on doing that. So I was invited in 2008 to go and speak in front of a group of youth. It was 150 youth. I had never told my story to anybody other than my husband. I bawled my eyes out through the whole through the whole presentation. But the response that I got from it was so tremendous that I realized and I recognized that not only was my story impactful, but to be able to open up the doors for other people to tell their stories.
Exactly, for other people to relate.
Yeah. And so that's what my book is intended for, is to open up those conversations that we should be having that we're not having.
Right.
I don't think there's very few things that I've gone through that other women have not gone through.
Can you talk about one in particular that you share in your book, A Girl's Secret? Because we're talking about secrets here, right?
Yeah. So there's a number of different things. I was raped at gunpoint at 7.
Oh my God.
I was abused severely from the age of 7 until 9. I was hospitalized in a mental institution. So it was a number of different things. I dealt with racism within my own family, at school. I'm fairly light skinned. But my brother, as we were growing up, was blonde hair and blue eyes. So my little brother is white. My mother is white and my father is light skinned as well. And I grew up in Omaha for the most part. We moved to Des Moines, and then in Des Moines is where I received all the bullying and racial slurs. I was in a community where I was the only Black kid at school, like period.
So were you bullied because of your complexion? Is that?
I was bullied because I was Black.
Okay.
Wow.
And then,
and you're really light. Like you can almost pass for, you know what I mean? What?
Yeah. And then my grandmother, as all women, our hair is our shining glory. And growing up, my mom used to do my hair all the time. My hair was down my back when we moved to Des Moines. My mom was working a number of jobs, and so my grandmother cut off all of my hair. So I had this short afro. So then not only did I get bullied about being Black, I got bullied about looking like a boy.
Now, why did she cut your hair off?
Why
did your grandmother cut all of your hair off?
She didn't know how to do my hair.
So she just wanted something easy to manage and get you out the door every day for school. Oh, okay. Now, did it stand up like an afro? Because your hair, from what I'm looking at right now, is thin and straight.
Well, I do
naturally curly.
I do a lot of braiding of my hair. So so there's a number of different things. When I was younger, my hair was way more thicker than what it is now.
Okay.
I've done a lot of processing in my hair over the years. And so that has loosened my curls quite a bit. So I did have like an actual afro when I was younger.
So that really, you are a Negro to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
And we're talking about living in Des Moines at the time, right?
And what, when was this? Was this in the 80s? What era was this?
So this would have been, the 80s.
The early 80s or?
The late 80s.
Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry.
So did you guys eventually move back to Omaha, or how long were you in Des Moines?
So we moved back and forth we lived predominantly in Omaha. We ended up living in Texas. We ended up living in Denver.
Oof.
I lived in Fort Collins, Colorado for a little while. So we moved around just a little bit, but predominantly in Omaha.
Okay. So would you say, you mentioned earlier that you were raped at age 7 years old. How has that affected your life as a young child and growing into adolescence and things like that? Because I know this happens to a lot of young ladies, even at an early age of 7 for you. So how do you cope with something like that? Did you have support? Did you even tell anyone?
I was in fear for my life. So this was my uncle, who was just 7 years older than me. So he was 14 at the time.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I got expelled from school. So there was a lot of stuff that was going on at the same time. He was left to watch me and my little brother a lot. So there was a lot of buildup to that point. A lot of us hiding in the closet, hiding in the bathroom, hoping that he would go find something else to do other than to torture us.
Oh, wow. Your brother as well.
Yeah.
What would he do to your brother?
So he would do stuff like drag us by our feet with the tractor, pull us up and tie us to trees and beat us.
I'm sorry. Was he white? The white family member? Of course he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew.
And for me, it just made me very angry.
Right.
And then it was just like this continuation of abuse that took place. So I didn't even get a chance to deal with that. I told my mom after I got expelled from school, because now I'm stuck at home. So I got to figure out how I'm going to protect myself now at home, because oddly enough, even though I was getting severely bullied at school, school was my safe ground.
And how old were you at this time?
7.
You were still 7. Okay. When you got expelled from school.
Yeah.
Because.
So eventually after that happened, I just went into this dark place where I just felt like I wasn't protected. And so I started thinking that I needed to protect myself. And I'd go to school, I'd get bullied, and I went to the principal. They tell you all the time to go tell your teachers, go tell your principal. I told my principal, and he told me I was a mistake anyway, so don't bother him with that. So that just furthermore let me feel like I was in this world by myself. And if I didn't protect myself, nobody else would. So I'm 7 years old.
Right. I'm just wondering, how can you navigate through all of this? I mean, bullied at school, being abused at home. How does a 7-year-old navigate through that? So speed us up to like middle school. I mean, did anything happen or change for you?
So when did it stop?
It really didn't stop until, I would say, until about 10 or 11.
Okay.
I was sent to my grandmother's house who didn't have children. And so I was severely beaten. This woman stood like 6 foot. She was good 500, 600 pounds. She was a very large woman.
Wow.
And so and I'm still one of those people. I really applaud people who do CNA. I really do, because that's the same work that I did at 7 and 8 years old.
Okay.
I had to change out her porta potty. I had to wash her butt because she was too big. She couldn't reach it herself.
Mhm.
I had to cook for her. I had to clean for her. So I did all of those things that a CNA would do
Yeah.
at 7 and 8. And then I was put into a mental institution. So I just felt like I was just pushed away
right.
constantly. And then when I went into the mental institution, I started lifting weights. I didn't want to be a victim anymore.
And why were you put into a mental institution?
In my opinion, it was because my mother didn't know how to control me. She needed me somewhere else. And my grandmother was in transition, getting ready to move from the farm into the city. And that's where I ended up. And when I got there, I'm sitting there like I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just need somebody to listen and just to let me know that, it's not my fault that these things are going on. And just some accountability. My uncle never got accountability for what he did. And I was told that, that's not my son. He wouldn't do something like that.
So you did tell.
I did tell.
Okay.
And that was a response that I got. So I just felt like my voice wasn't being heard. And then sitting in this room, in this hospital, I'm looking at people that are really, truly need to be there. And that's not where I was. I just wasn't heard. I just didn't feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was angry. And because of that, that's how I ended up in
And
it.
how long were you in the mental institution?
For a year.
And what
year.
what age was this?
8.
8 years old.
Wow.
Okay, so
And then you got out and still was being abused.
So it was just this
Lord.
constant thing. And then we ended up being homeless. So a little bit about my family dynamics. My mom and my father got divorced when I was 2. And my father has lived out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And as my parents split, I have an older brother, so that we share the same father. And he stayed with my father, and I stayed with my mother.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I was like 11 that I got reunited with my father again. And I stayed with him for a short period of time. And that situation didn't work out. So I ended up moving back to Omaha, as my mom had transitioned in her life and moved back to Omaha. And I ended up pregnant at 12.
And you were with your mom. You were in your mom's care at that point.
Yep.
Wow.
But at that point, I didn't respect my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So most of my friends were 16 and older. None of my friends was my age. And a lot of them had children already, or was pregnant.
So do you feel because you were hanging around older ladies, they were teenagers, age 16,
Mm-hmm.
they had kids, is that how you think you might have kind of gotten into that trap of being a teen mom even?
No, actually, so I started having sex at 5. So this a little bit backed up a little bit. So I was molested at 5, and then I was introduced. It introduced me to curiosity of sexuality.
Right.
Oftentimes, what people say is, well, if you've been molested, that's going to lead you into it. I had opportunity. As a lot of kids, we explore sexuality. Yes, I was exposed to it at 5, but I had the opportunity. We wasn't supervised as much, and then you have older kids that expose you to things. And the first person I had sex with was just a year older than me. So we was exploring together. And so I started having sex at 5. So from 5 on, that became my safe haven for the most part. That was the only place that I felt safe, that I felt comfortable, that I felt loved, even if it was for that moment. And I had the same partner for a number of years. And it wasn't until I was 12 and even at 12 years old, I didn't think I could get pregnant. I didn't know any 12-year-olds that was getting pregnant. And my son's father was 14 at the time. And everybody that I knew that was getting pregnant was 16 and older. So that's not even really a thought that I had necessarily. I had asked for the Depo shot because that had came out. And
so were you getting education, through school or anything like that to kind of help you navigate through these treacherous waters of being around 16-year-old females with babies?
Really, honestly, a lot of them educated me. A lot of my education
Came from them.
Mm-hmm. I really wish that it would have been an older woman that would have educated me on things and just let me know that, young ladies don't have to do that.
Right.
It wasn't until I talked to my children's fathers years later that he told me, I respect a woman who has some morals, who has some values, and doesn't just sleep with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I liked you, it wasn't just necessarily just a like. If I just liked you, I would sleep with you. But if I felt the need to sleep with you, I'm in control of that. So if I decided to have sex with you, I decided to have sex with you. I didn't require, conversation.
Right.
I didn't require commitment. I didn't require anything of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, he didn't respect me.
Right. Good morning, everyone. We're here live in studio at 95.7 The Boss Morning Show, talking with Nicole Lewis. She is the author of A Girl's Secrets. We welcome our Facebook Live viewers. Lena says, good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Lena.
We welcome our listeners on the radio airwaves. Maybe you listening to in your cars, or maybe you're at home or even at work already. We thank you for joining in the broadcast here. So, Nicole, okay, speed us up to high school. Do you graduate? You have your baby now. Tell us what that looks like, because I know there's a listener out there that may be in the same position, and they haven't told their secrets. Maybe, sometimes there's a stigma to tell someone because maybe someone won't believe me. But now they've gotten this baby. They're maybe still in high school. What did that look like for you, and how did you move on past that?
I was the youngest person in high school with a kid. So I had my son in middle school. I wasn't even in high school yet. And when I did finally get to high school, everybody else is just having babies, and I've got like a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated with a 5-year-old.
Wow, 5-year-old kids.
But she graduated.
A boy.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
She graduated from high school with her little 5-year-old son.
Yep. And I wanted to make sure that he could never tell me, Mom, you did this. Mom, you didn't do that. So I graduated. I was very upset with myself. This sounds really stupid, but I wanted to have a 4.0 GPA. My GPA was a 3.7 all the way up to my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
In my senior year, I was working a full-time job and going to school full-time and trying to find a place to live with me and my son. So it was a lot going on, and my GPA dropped to 3.2. And I was devastated because I had a goal.
Right. And that's okay.
But it was really dedication. And actually at that time, I was really heavy into church. If it wasn't for church during high school, if it wasn't for the group home that I was in, I probably would have been in a totally different place.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that was your foundation that kind of led you to stand fast and move on and progress and put those things behind you, and maybe even start talking about it as an experience that you had to help other people?
Honestly, so what the church did for me is it gave me boundaries. I grew up without boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this idea of the 10 Commandments, and the 10 Commandments really do give you boundaries and gives you a structure. And then to have somebody else, I never liked talking to people, because when I did, I had a lot of backlash talking to people. A lot of backlash. I went to therapy. Therapy didn't work for me. My therapist, as I later found out, was unethical.
Mm-hmm.
But just for me, every time that I did speak up about things, it just didn't yield me anything. So I didn't talk about anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I stayed focused on, I didn't have relationships in high school because I felt like, you're in high school. You don't understand what it's like to raise a kid, work a job, try to find a place to live.
Be an adult, actually.
Yeah. And I've been pretty much on my own really since 11, maybe younger than that.
Because you didn't have boundaries. You could come and go as you wished.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a comment here. Welcome Facebook Live viewers, Mary Moore says, "Hey, Nicole, this is a very sweet lady, very intelligent. God bless." Good morning, Karita Adams Terry. She says, "Good morning, ladies."
Good morning.
So we
Good
are here
morning.
talking with Nicole Lewis. So Nicole, she's an author of A Girl's Secrets. So you shed your secrets. You shared them with family members, maybe someone at church. But the point is that you did eventually, speak out.
Honestly, so how I ended up sharing my secrets was, like I said, I was very private, and I ended up with a sex addiction. And with the sex addiction, you typically have two lives. So you have the public life and you have a private life.
So a double life, is that what we know it to be?
Yeah, and
So you lived a double life.
Definitely.
At age, what age would that? Would you say that?
So my sex addiction actually really took off about 19.
Wow.
And so from that point, I had transitioned sex and love and interchanged them. So I had gotten to a situation where I decided to tell I was pregnant with my second child.
Okay.
By the same guy. That's a whole nother story within itself. But he told me he didn't want to be with me. And there were situations that took place that I thought God had sent him to me and that we were meant to be. This was our second child. And so I was devastated. I grew up not thinking that I was lovable, and so I made the decision of telling him, well, just have sex with me. We don't have to be in a relationship, just have sex with me. And then that transitioned as he was in his relationship. And that just transitioned to, okay, if that's what I'm good for, then that's what I'm going to be.
So you made that call.
I made that call.
Now, is this the same young man that you were, that exposed you to sex throughout your younger years, or is this someone else?
This was someone else.
Okay.
It was very interesting because they were best friends.
Oh, okay.
So that's another story within itself. But
so what did you do after being devastated? He no longer wants to be with you. You proposed, okay, then just have sex with me, and in a way to continue to be, feel loved, because at this point you associated sex with love, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point.
Right, at that point. So you're 18, 19 years old. So what happened after that? He agreed?
He agreed for a while. And the issue is that I was pregnant. And so your hormones is always off kilter. And then he wouldn't give that to me anymore. So when he wouldn't give that to me anymore, I started seeking it elsewhere.
So he cut off the sex?
Yeah.
And so how did you seek sex from other places? What did you do? How did you look for other partners?
My other partners. So this is really interesting. Is guys have to go seek partners. Women do not. I used to just walk down the street and pick up.
Okay.
That's like literally how it would happen.
So they would catcall. The guys would catcall.
Yeah.
Say, hey.
And I would make the decision: is he interesting enough for me? To have that engagement? And I would just make that decision at that moment.
Okay. So you're with 2 kids now, working, trying to live life.
Yeah.
You've been devastated. The father of your kids no longer wants to be with you. You go into arrangement where you're just having sex. That was your call. Just have sex with me. Then he stops that.
Yep.
And then you start seeking sex through other men. So this is a part of the start of the sex addiction that you talk about?
Yeah. And then it just kind of snowballed. So as women, we're told that you're not valued if you have multiple partners. A lot of times we don't tell the guys, I've slept with this many people. I've slept with that many people. That's one of those secrets that women just don't tell.
Right. Okay.
And so I always have this, I was always very quiet. Still, even if you see me out in public, for the most part, I'm pretty quiet. So I wasn't that flamboyant, ratchet chick per se. I was kind of the chick that the ratchet chicks brought along with.
Would you say it's because of your beauty? Because you're very beautiful, And would you say you're suffering with like insecurities at that point
Very-
because of things that happened to you? From
Very
an
much
early
so.
age?
Very much so. I felt invisible to a lot of people, and just hearing a guy tell me, you know, you're beautiful, or sometimes it wasn't even that, just, hey, baby girl, what's up with you? Oftentimes was almost enough.
Mm-hmm.
If they were willing to come and address me, then there was a possibility that we would have sex.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So we have a Facebook Live comment. John Reginald Young Jr. says, I'm proud of you for finishing your book. So you did eventually write a book about your secrets.
You are so bold and so courageous. I want to let you know.
Thank you.
You really
Thank
are,
you.
because a lot of people are definitely ashamed. And for you to open up about the most, I don't even know the word for all of the things that you've been through, but you're so courageous. And I want to let you know that you motivate me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, did you continue with you said the therapist, you weren't really getting any results? Because I'm just trying to kind of map out, how did you process all of this and continue to be a beautiful woman? You're a young mother with 2 kids, you're working, you're just, you know, trying to provide a roof over your family's head. And so now you're into this mode of sex addiction, and you're moving on, you're getting older. What was the turning point for you? And how did you work your way up to speaking and writing this book?
I lost everything.
What do you mean?
I lost my children. I lost my home. I lost, my mother had moved out of town. So my whole support system that I did have, just everything was like, literally I was sleeping in my car.
How did you lose your kids?
So that's kind of like a whole story within itself.
Well, in a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell, my youngest son's family members didn't feel like I was at their standards. So because I was on welfare, because I wasn't educated, because I was a teen mom, they didn't feel I was capable of raising my 3rd child. So they had all of my children removed from my home.
So was there a complaint against you? Is that how that happened?
Yeah. And
the state came in.
Yeah. So there was lies told. Unfortunately, how our system is set up, if there's a complaint, and especially if it comes from somebody in society that is well looked at, they're believed a lot more than you. I even had a doctor that could vouch for, you know, how I was treating my kids and for the allegations. That doctor I can't find her anywhere. She like disappeared.
Wow.
That's just how corrupt this individual and this family was.
So you did try to fight and prove your case that you are a good mom, and you're fit to take care of your kids.
Yeah.
Wow. And so your mom, she out of the picture at that point too?
Yeah, she was.
Wow.
So I was in Omaha completely on my own, completely without any support system. Sorry. I'm not sure what just happened there. But completely out of my support system. But what ended up happening was I found myself in a dark place. I had bought my first car. I should say my second car, because my first one didn't actually run.
Okay. I've had one of those cars before.
And so my second car was a hoopty to the max. Like, it was like so horrible. And I had contemplated suicide. I had got tired of the courts telling me that I wasn't a good mom. I had been told when I first found out that I was pregnant with my first child, I would never be a good mom. So it was confirmation of that. And that was, my children are my life. They was,
absolutely,
you know, that was the only place that I felt loved unconditionally, that I felt like I was a superwoman, because I did take care of my kids and I was always playing with them, always interacting with them. It was my world outside of, as I said, I had 2 lives. So it was my children and then the rest of the world. And that's also how I dealt with things. And so when I lost my kids, It took me into a really dark place. And I had met a gentleman at work, oddly enough. And I started having conversations with him, just random conversations. I was going to school for business at the time, and he was running a record label. So that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
And that conversation led to something else. And I ended up, I used to have these one night stands all the time.
With him?
No, just with a lot of guys. And I decided one night I had got out of the club. I never picked up a guy from the club. For the most part, if I did, it was usually to get something to eat. But I got out of the club one night and I decided I was going to call him. So I called him. It was supposed to be a one night stand type situation. And the one night stand has been 14, 15 years later.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So do you think that is that?
Hold on. Let's double. What happened? A one night stand is now your husband?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was.
I just want to let you know that your husband, I just went to like investigate. That is my homeboy, Leo. Oh my God, you're Leo's wife. Shout out to Leo. That is a community driven person as well. He got the children's book. So you both are authors.
Yeah.
So we need to get Leo. Leo, we need you up here with the children's book sometime soon. And this is a beautiful thing. That's where I know you from. I'm like, I know her from somewhere. So, I'm so happy.
So is that what took you
out
of that sexual addiction? Was this relationship with he was a record label person at that time, and now he's your husband 14 years later?
She got lucky, blessed with a personality and a person like that. He has really good positive energy. He always has something uplifting to tell someone. It was almost like she went through that to end up with someone like that. Do you think that?
Definitely. I have. So there is a second book that's coming out as well, and a third book. So the first book kind of takes you through my childhood up into high school. So that really goes through, there's a lot more stuff that I went through that time period.
We can't tell all the secrets.
Yes. No, you have to purchase the book.
Right.
Plug that in.
So I'll just say this, that I got caught in my lies. I got caught in trying to hide the things that I was doing.
How? So can you break that down? How did you get caught in your lies?
Oddly enough, so somebody that he knew thought they had saw me out in public. And we had been seeing each other on a regular basis.
People need to mind their business and worry about the skeletons in their closet.
So what ended up happening is I ended up not talking to him for like 24 hours. And then I went on a binge. So a binge is basically for an alcoholic, it would be a person that goes and drinks a whole lot. For a drug addict, it would be somebody that just goes and just wiles out and heavily into drugs. For a sex addict, it's somebody that wiles out and has sex with a bunch of people.
Right.
Or really extremely risky behavior. So for me, I just went out and I went on a binge. And I just felt, every time I would have sex, I felt so dirty that I would take these scalding hot showers. And he just so happened to be paying attention to the fact that I'm taking these showers repetitively. And then, so he's like, we need to talk. I'm like, oh man, I'm caught. So I went to approach the situation as though I'm never going to see you again. You're going to call me out my name. It might be physical. I had put his life in jeopardy. And I had never told him I told him that I had slept with just a couple of people.
Right.
So he didn't know anything about your sexual addiction.
He didn't know
the level of it.
Yeah, he didn't. All he knew was that I would pick up people and I would go to the clubs and go out to eat a lot. So I did have that conversation with him. But it wasn't until that moment where I'm standing in front of him and I'm like, I'm a hoe.
Oh my God.
Like,
you said that?
Yep. He was like, why would you do stuff? I said, because I'm a hoe. That was my defense. So if I tell you I'm a hoe, you're going to leave me alone. And for
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah.
Because you felt that you were caught at that point.
Yeah.
You was bringing it to the table. It's like, let's talk.
Yep. And I'm like, no, look, I'm a hoe. We're going to end this conversation. And he was like, no, I really want to know why. I really want to know why you're doing this. And for the first time in my life, I just did this huge dump. I just
because you needed someone to understand or someone to care.
That was your release.
Yeah, I needed
that.
I needed that, getting that off of me.
Yes.
Because when you hold on to stuff, not only does it like it makes this shell around you where you can't. It's very hard to really interact with people.
Yes.
And then even with my children, like I couldn't hug them because of all the stuff that I had been through, just those things. And it had just got to a point where I'm just like, okay, my life is over. I'm not expecting to be here too much longer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm done. And his response to me is what has healed me. His response was, okay, well, let's not have sex anymore. Let's just talk. And that's what we're going to do is we're just going to talk.
And what man has said that before him?
None.
Exactly.
None. Because they'd be like, oh, you a freak, you a
amazing.
nympho, you a this, you a that.
That's what every woman wants. A man that will listen.
Yeah.
Fellas out there, if you're listening,
they need to take a class from Leo Lewis.
Take notes.
The second
notes.
Yes.
We have a comment from Facebook Live. Alan Black, good morning, sir. He says an amazing journey to preserve and make it to this point is a testament to courage, faith, and being a champion. Thank you for your comment.
Yes,
Thank
a champion.
She is. Good morning, Ada Sanchez. She says good morning from Facebook Live. We're talking with Arthur Nicole Lewis, A Girl's Secrets. And she's got 2 more books she just told us that's coming as a continuation of your life. And and at this point, so you meet your prince, your king.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh. So and now he's your current husband. He's your husband, 14 years. That's amazing. Congratulations. Now, at what point you talked about losing your kids? Did you ever get them back out of the system?
In that process. So life is crazy. When you're at your darkest, I would say God or the universe, the power that be
is right on time.
Man, right on time. So for me, as I met my husband, like I said, I had gotten further and further down right before I met him. And just the moment that I met him, my life is so much different today than it was at that moment. I got my kids back.
Good.
I got a home. I was finally had my own place. For the first time in my life, a guy sustained past 3 months.
Congratulations. That's a big feat.
And what she say is about to be 14 years for your anniversary of marriage.
Yeah.
Right. So
and we got married a year to the date of our very first date. So that one night stand became our wedding date.
Well, it's actually, look, it's no longer a one night stand. You can't even call it that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is wonderful. So you're speaking now.
Motivational speaker, a
telling
trainer,
your secrets.
mentor, author.
You're encouraging young girls that may be, promiscuous.
Yes.
And you're sharing with them there's options, there's ways out, even if someone,
and there's hope
in a situation.
There's definitely hope.
There's hope. There's hope in meeting your Prince Charming,
right?
In situations like that. So tell us kind of some of the things that you talk about when you're speaking to young girls to encourage them.
One of the biggest things that I tell people all the time is specifically when you're dealing with sex, that you can stop at any time. And you never want to give your body to somebody that doesn't deserve it.
Right.
I tell my kids all the time, if they are not willing to lay down their lives for you and take a bullet for you, then they don't deserve that. As a woman, they don't deserve that because there's so much stuff that could happen. Literally every time that you lay down with somebody, you are giving them your life.
Exactly. Your soul, your energy.
Yes. So you look at a lot of times people say, they're scared of STDs or getting pregnant. But what about that person that becomes a stalker?
Oh my goodness.
I had those situations.
Okay, I was going to ask you, did you?
Yeah.
Right. I know. Yeah. I know it had to be some guys coming after you.
So looking for you.
Right.
Yes. And then there's that emotional connection.
Yes.
And then there's that the illusion of an emotional connection
Right.
with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And eliminating sex out of the picture allows you to really truly see somebody.
Right.
It really allows you to really get to know yourself and get to know that other person, because you want to know they're good and they're bad.
Yeah, you know, Fantasia actually did that with her last husband. They didn't have sex prior to marriage. The one that she's with now, not the one that she was going through that scandal with about 10 years ago, but the most current one. And now they have a podcast together with showing people that it's okay not to have sex before marriage and get to know that person, and they and how they're still together and they still go through things. And I'm so glad that someone with her platform and her age and her spotlight that was able to share with her fans that you don't have to have sex. You don't have to have sex to get a husband or get a man. And if that man loves you just as much as you love him, then he should be okay with that. And if he's not, then that's not the one for you.
Yep, exactly. Sex is one of those things. It's a spiritual connection with another individual at the end of the day. And you want to be respected as a woman. You want to be respected as a man,
right?
You know, it's not just on for women; it's also for men.
Exactly.
You want to be respected, and that respect level happens, and trust is built.
Yes.
So I can trust my husband. People ask me all the time, how you can trust him to do this and how you can trust him to do that, because we spent the time to build that trust with each other. If you can lay naked next to somebody every day for 10 months and not have sex with them,
wow.
I'm saying that's a powerful thing.
That is very powerful. Listen here, girl, yes.
And you're growing
you
from
go,
that
girl.
Relationship as well, because when you can sustain, from having sex, you're bringing in and welcoming in other opportunities to learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's my opinion. So when that's just like any addiction. If you can set it aside, now your attention is on something else, and so hopefully something positive that can come in your life, and you can learn more about who you are as a person. Because obviously, that's probably what you need to focus on.
Yeah, and one of the other topics that I talk about is celibacy and abstinence. So, what do you do when you are being celibate, when you are being abstinent, and you're not having sex? Because you're still going to have those sexual feelings, especially if you've already had sex before. Sometimes it's very, very difficult for you to restrain from having sex. So what do you do in those moments? So that's another topic that I talk about as well, is what do you do in those moments?
Because I don't think a lot of women out there feel like they're female sex addicts, because there are. There are female sex addicts out there. It's not just a man.
Right.
We tend to just put that stigma on a man, and there's plenty of women that's addicted to sex.
And if they're trying to get out of it, the information out here, I don't know if there's resources out here where they can get help. Younger ladies can get help, because like you said, Nicole, the feelings do come back. They're there with you every day. If someone is trying to sustain or get out of that sexual addiction, how do they cope with the feelings? How do they maybe, move past that and just kind of refocus to something else? How do they do that?
I tell people all the time. So a little bit more about my background is I went to school for drug and alcohol counseling. And what I found is that sex addiction, drug and alcohol addiction are one and the same. It's really a coping skill issue.
Yes.
So finding a new coping skill is really and finding the underlying issue. What is causing you to do this? Oftentimes, especially for women, it's that hoe over there, or she one of them chicks. And so nobody, and there's guys that will fall in love with her.
Right.
But she just can't see that love because she's looking for it in her own way. Or she just feels like, I've been with all these people, I don't deserve love.
Exactly.
So she's hanging on to the labeling. I'm a hoe, or I'm not good enough because I've slept with, this is what I do, this is my life, I don't deserve, and all those things keep women, young ladies, trapped into not living their best life. So would you recommend that they turn to some type of resource to kind of get out of that, to find a coping skill that you talked about?
Definitely. So although I had issues with my counselors, that does not mean that all counselors are bad.
Right.
So definitely find somebody to talk to about it. definitely find sometimes I wouldn't say everybody is a good person. I just so happen to luck out with the person that was understanding enough,
Right.
that was compassionate enough to listen without judgment. So that's one of the biggest things, that you want somebody that's going to listen to you without judgment.
Exactly.
And that's going to understand where you're coming from. And even if they don't understand where you're coming from, just willing
sympathize.
willing to ask those questions to get you to that place for self-discovery.
So it's just opening up to someone that's not going to judge you, someone you can eventually trust. Because I know walking in, you don't automatically trust them. So you may not be forthcoming initially. You may say a little bit here, a little bit there, until you get to trust the person that you're confiding in. We have comments on Facebook Live. They're rolling in here, Nicole. They got some comments. Richetta Henry, she says, wow, whose story is it? Hard to tell. She's just coming into the Facebook Live. No disrespect. She's saying, I'm just tuning in. Congrats to you. We're talking with Nicole Lewis, the art of a girl's secret. Karen Cross Culliver says your transparency is saving someone's life today.
Exactly.
There are so many women in my age group, that 50 years of age, that still struggles with relationships and self-worth because of issues that have been hidden. They haven't told their secrets. Thank you for sharing. Welcome to the broadcast. Jackie Barfield says, is this Stacy in the background?
Yes, it is. Good morning, cousin Jackie. And look, that's a reverend, lady. Bill King. This is a reverend and a lawyer. Good morning.
Ada Sanchez, good morning. She says, great stuff. I will watch the replay. Yes, our replay viewers, we appreciate you guys. If you haven't watched, go to the beginning of this interview. If you're just popping in, you want to catch all of this good stuff. She says, have a great day, ladies. So you've got some events coming up. I know you've done some in the past and you're speaking. What's happening with you now? What's your life look like now? And how old are the kids again now?
So they're 23, 18, and 16.
So the 23-year-old is the one that's going to make you a grandmother?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I told him, I said, let me be 35 before I become a grandma.
Exactly. I'm a new grandma of 2019. I have a grandson and a granddaughter. Oh, shout out to my Air and J Air. I love my grandson and my granddaughter, but I'm not even 40. And my son said, "Ain't you 40?" I said, "No, but it would have been nice to get there before you made me a grandmother."
Yeah. So for me, I just wanted to be, I figured 35.
Yeah, 35 is okay.
Because, you know, at least he's graduated high school.
Yes.
He should be knowing a little bit more about himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he surpassed not only my generation, the generations before me.
Right.
So we've had teen pregnancy in our family for years. And so
that's in every family.
Yeah. And so he surpassed that. And the young lady he is having his first child with, he's known since middle school.
Oh.
Wow.
So she's not a stranger to the family, which is always a good thing.
That is a good thing.
So some of the things that I'm doing is this coming Saturday, I'm going to be at the AIM Institute at the Fear Don't Own Me tour, part 2.
Oh,
Fear Don't Own Me. Yes, we did.
Yeah. So I will be there doing a workshop there.
Okay.
Called Unpacking Your Ish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that one is definitely, I love when I do workshops, I love to do hands-on. It's a good thing for you to hear my story, but it's much better for you to reflect on your own.
Right.
And really, that's my ultimate goal, is to get people to really open up. Not necessarily that you have to open up to me, but just have that ability to open up. See that you're not alone. Oftentimes when we go through things, we feel like we're alone. And especially when you're dealing with sex addiction, we hear about men all the time, but we never hear about women. And so having that idea of, no, I'm out here sleeping with a bunch of people, but this is not because this is my choice. Although in the midst of it, you feel like, okay, this is my choice. I decide to do what I'm going to do.
Right.
But when you really take a step back and you go, what I really want out of life, what I really wanted was to be married.
Right.
What I really wanted was a family. What I really wanted was to be loved.
Right.
And so understanding that we all deserve those things,
right,
regardless of our past. So that's another workshop that I do as well. Regardless of your past, you deserve love.
Wow.
So that one goes really in depth in that, in accepting and learning it and forgiving yourself. And then I'm also on November 2nd, I'll be at the Ready to Read Romance book signing. I am the first nonfiction author that's going to be there.
Okay.
So I'm opening up doors.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
right. You're creating history.
Yes, she
Making history,
is.
young lady.
Right.
So I'd love to hear other love stories. We don't get enough of those.
Exactly.
We really don't. We don't get enough of, we get a lot of the ratchet lifestyle.
Yeah.
We get a lot of the street lifestyle.
Mhm.
But where's the happy ending?
Right.
Where's the success?
Mhm.
And so I would love to have more books published
Mhm.
on the success of how you met your mate,
Mhm.
of how you went through your trials and tribulations, and then how you had a successful, happy, healthy relationship.
I think you and Leo need to do a podcast on love.
That would be interesting.
Exactly.
So this is November 2nd. Where is this going to be held at?
That is going to be at the German American Society.
Where's that
It's
located
on South 120th Street.
at? Okay.
Mhm.
So 3717 South 120th Street.
Okay.
And then in December, I'll be in Detroit.
Okay. Detroit. Whoop, whoop. That's my dad's side of the family.
So there's going to be an author fair in Detroit on December 7th that I'll be at.
Nice.
So
you
So
have a
freezing.
section you're going to be talking about.
So at that time, I'll have both my book and then I'll have my husband's books as well.
Okay, nice. You are doing big things.
She's networking out here.
I mean, she's literally
Inspiring.
turned her life around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You turned them trials and tribulations into testimonies.
I truly believe that everything that we go through is for a reason.
Mhm.
And that's really what kept me going in my life is, okay, there's a reason for this.
Yes.
There's a reason for this. Even though I may not see it right now. I studied 2 years in textiles and fashion design. I seen Paris and London as a 16-year-old mother. The only one on the tour that didn't have a credit card because everybody else was. And I'm like, maybe I can afford this sandwich.
Right.
But I made it and
Yes.
I did it on my own. So you never know where life is going to take you. You never know what's going to happen.
That's true.
And you never know where your lessons are going to lead you.
Yes.
So for me, my projection that I had for my life was business. Never did I think that I was going to be in the business of speaking or writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I am pairing up with MOWBC. We're doing a young entrepreneurs program for young ladies 11 to 18.
Nice.
We're going to do 16 classes and 32 hands-on. So if you're a women business owner, we're looking for women business owners to partner with us so that the young ladies can get hands-on experience with women business owners specifically.
Okay.
Because they need to see themselves in that position.
Is this with Tiffany Gamble?
No.
Okay. This is something different, but it's the same age, 11 to 18. Okay.
So Tiffany is doing
The coding.
Coding.
Okay.
And so
She's
she's
like
doing
making
STEM.
sure I'm not mixing.
She code.
Okay.
Yep, she's doing the coding, which is another aspect that's needed.
Mhm.
What we're doing is we're trying to cultivate actual business owners.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're building them from the inside out.
Mhm.
And so by the time they get done, they should be able to be ready for that next step. So
Right.
what does a business look like? What
Mhm.
talents and skills do you currently have as you talk about the
Mhm.
side hustles?
Right.
How do you turn those skills that you already have
Mm-hmm.
into an actual business? How do you turn for me, I can sew really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I turn my sewing into a business?
Into something where you could make money for
Yeah.
yourself, for your family.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, MOW, who's putting that on again? Metro,
Omaha Women's Business Center.
is that BC Clark's?
Yeah, it is.
She heads
It
that
is.
up. That's
Yep.
wonderful.
I love the headline, Future CEO.
Future CEO.
Yeah.
Just show
Yes.
this to the viewers. Real quick. This is wonderful. We're creating entrepreneurs out here. You guys see that?
Be your own boss.
Be your own boss. So this registration is still open?
It
Is
is
there still space?
There is still space.
For girls ages 11 to 18.
11 to
And
18.
Nicole's gonna do one of the workshops at this event.
So that one I am doing the curriculum for. So,
Oh,
so
Wow.
I
now
will
you're
be
writing curriculum.
Which is the
You're a
meat.
teacher.
Right. Which is the meat and the potatoes of it all. Okay.
You're a teacher. You
Right.
can write curriculum. You can turn around and teach it. You're a teacher.
She got a lot of commas. A lot of commas.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for this one, it's all the skill sets that I have learned and I have taken on in my life. I feel like it's important for me to give back.
Mm-hmm.
I have never learned anything for myself.
Mhm.
As my daughter is now her own business owner,
Mm-hmm.
and she's an entrepreneur I'm inspiring my son to be an entrepreneur. So we're
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
It's important for us to be able to see ourselves beyond there. So there's a career there's a corporate career, and there's a your career.
Mhm.
Oh,
And-
say that again. No, say that again. I haven't heard that
Hello.
before. I might have to use that. Okay, Nicole, say that again.
So there's a corporate career and there's a you career. We have to have a career outside of our corporate careers. We have to,
Mhm.
in order for us to sustain a healthy life.
Mhm.
We can be in a job that we love,
Mhm.
but we're not passionate about it.
Right.
Or it's not something that just brings us joy. Speaking for me brings me joy just to do it,
Yeah.
just to get on stage and just to get the experience
Mhm.
and to get that flow of energy
Mhm.
is unmatchable.
Yeah.
I can't get that anywhere else.
Mhm.
Or speaking to a young lady and seeing that transform and seeing her eyes being open. For me, that's where my passion is. Now, on the other end, I love doing paperwork.
Oh, wow. I mean, the bookkeeping part of a business?
Yes. So
She better than me. I'll need someone for that part, a CPA.
so for me, that would be my corporate
Yeah.
Mhm.
administration.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal business is my love and my passion
Right.
and giving back. If I can't do it, if I don't make a dime selling a book, if I don't make a dime speaking,
Mhm.
if I have transformed at least one person's life, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to be wrapping it up here. We're
Let's
going
go to
to
a break.
play a selection.
Need to go into a little breaky break so we can
Yeah,
get some game.
that's
off
right.
air.
We've been having a good time with Nicole Lewis, the author of A Girl's Secrets. She's been sharing her secrets with sex addiction, how she was able to get out of this. So many things happened to her, but she persevered and she overcame. She met her Prince Charming. We love a good ending to a wonderful story. Certainly your journey, has it up and down, and it was very hard as a young girl. I just don't know. I couldn't imagine how to maneuver through all the things that you've gone through. I thank you for sharing. We thank you for sharing your story with us. I'm sure that this is going to reach the ears of someone that's been waiting to hear your story. And so I always talk about that. If you have a story out there, you should share it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not speaking, you could put it in a book if you want to, but someone is waiting to hear your story. There's someone that's in the position that you were in as a young girl. They may be young right now,
Right.
and it still happens in 2019,
Yeah.
and they're not telling anyone so they can get the help because they probably think no one's going to believe me.
Exactly.
This possibly couldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And so we have to get to a point where we have resources out there like your events that you're having that can give them an option, an outlet. How do I manage this? All this is going on with me as a young person. How can I start the conversation with my mom about what's happening to me when you're gone, Mom? And when you've gone to work, my babysitter does this to me. How can I say anything? It's just amazing how you've persevered, how you've gained strength through the things that the decisions that you make in your life. And like you said, each lesson kind of takes you to another level and you've learned from them. I absolutely love everything you had to
Me
say.
too.
I mean, you just really opened up, and people were saying thanks for being transparent. Thank you, because not a lot of people would come forward and tell their secret like that. But as obviously it's worked for you, as you're a beautiful woman, and I mean, you don't even look like you went through anything like
Right.
that, But you definitely have a support system. Your husband. Man, that was the game changer right there, in my opinion. I think that was the turning point. And then your kids, I mean, our kids is our lives. You take my kids away, my God, I just couldn't imagine. But thank you so much for sharing. Staso, you're gonna play
She done put me on blast, y'all. She over there by the laptop. I'm way over here with Nicole.
Oh, okay, we can do something right here.
So we about to get into whatever Miss Martine is gonna pull up on our handy dandy laptop.
Okay, we're gonna go to Rockstar. You want to do the Rockstar mix?
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, is that all right? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back with you. We'll be black with you.
Black with you. Boss
Boss
with
with
us.
loud, low revenue. Let's get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now who on me? This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active fool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active fool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. Get your grind up, yeah, I'm in my mind up. About to be a star, but first I need a line up. Putting the image, get hip hop a line up. Oh yeah, hip hop rappers, I think that time's up. Y'all not hip hop, flip flop, some music pops. Not interesting, oh come arresting. Somebody say little rapper do a blessing, or what a blessing. I'm never stressing, got a grand in my pocket and a bit in my shoebox. And my all white clothes, you know the watch on my girl. I got the game from my mama and the sweat from my kinfolk. My granny said, get the money just like the limo. I'ma kill every beat, destroy every tempo. Straight out of high school and it's only my demo. This an ill test that make it pop like a pimple. Hey, now who on me? This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active fool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active fool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. I read your note, shorty, sorry, but no, sorry. I'm better off getting money, but no, sorry. Working on my shows and I'm killing the crowd. In the studio, they loving my style. They send me with wows, home runs, no foul. Yeah, it's technical, sitting at the line, it's a free throw. Yeah, I'm lethal, Danny Webb. Lover, I don't cover, she just know I go harder than the others. I'm a rapper to these suckers, got that busy gravy steak, no smother, I'm all butter, baby boy butter, baby boy bread cutter, call me spit, I'm getting better, beat the beat down, beat the beat down, beat the beat down, beat the beat, the instrumental, damn. Hey, okay, now who on me? This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active pool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active pool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. Shit, everywhere, ready on stare, cause I'm all fair. Like fireworks, don't you dare touch it. I'm the hottest in the city, if you want, we can discuss it. And while we on the subject, video coming soon, I have to calculate the budget. I'm a rap scientist, I did the math, this is history. Salute me, ROTC, better have your shoes signed, saying the permission line. Left, right, face, that's still safe. Fresh with a pretty face, they say in my face, I'm like, give me space. When I won't get a rap, they like, give me taste. And you can get a this little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active pool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back. This little rapper dude, yeah, I rapper dude. I'm in high school, but I keep a second two. In that active pool, on the stage with attitude. You catch my swag, get your swag, swag it out and bring it back.
You get me when you want, and all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you. Don't stop and keep it coming. We can make it last forever. I can ride with you all night. We gonna have a good time. She's giving me a good vibe, and you got me when you want, and all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you. Hey baby, bring it on to me. I want your kiss, your love, your touch, girl, everything. You got me caught in the moment. The way you're pushing all upon me. And it's in my system. And while we slow grind, baby, just listen. I can see it in your eyes, you're in another world. There's no one else around, it's just me and you. Just let your head down and be free with me. Baby, I'm all yours tonight. Girl, you got me where you want. And all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you. Don't stop and keep it coming. We can make it last forever. I can run with you all night. We gonna have a good time. Just giving me a good vibe. And you got me where you want. And all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you. Hey baby, bring it on to me. You're looking real good with your freakum dress on. The closer we get, girl, it's turning me on. A couple more shots and we both lit. Throw it to me, baby, I know what to do with it. Cause I got this in my system. And while we slow grind, baby, just listen, yeah. I can see it in your eyes, you're in another world. There's no one else around, it's just me and you. Just let your head down and be free with me. Baby, I'm all yours tonight, yeah. Oh yeah. And there's a full moon, let yourself be down. Knowing the stars come out. And there's a full moon, let yourself be down. Oh, knowing the sun comes down. And there's a full moon, let yourself be down. And there's a full moon. Girl, you got me. Girl, you got me where you want. And all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you. Don't stop and keep it cool. We can make it last forever. I can run with you. All night. Good time. She's giving me a good vibe. And you got me where you want. And all I wanna do is enjoy the pleasure of you.
Oh yeah, Omaha, Nebraska. Man, what a powerful show today. Make sure you guys pick up A Girl's Secret. I told y'all, fellas, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff goes on. And she kind of reminded me of a couple of things. My first job, actually getting out of college, I worked in a group home. And I worked with young men and, well, adolescents that have been abused by those that say that they love them. In my last job before my new venture, I worked at the Center for Advancement, where I ran domestic violence groups. And so this is serious stuff going on in our community. We talked about that we want our heaven on earth now. And I think we all deserve it. It's 8:54. Man, this has been a great show today. The day is Monday. And this is going to be a fabulous day for y'all. So make sure you guys get out and enjoy yourself today. Got some big stuff coming up this week. Nancy Pelosi is going to be in the house. Oh, yeah. On the 26th, she's coming to downtown Hilton. Oh, yeah. Nancy Pelosi. They're going to have her at the Morrison Exon annual fundraiser. And then I know they also having the Black Caucus is having a fundraiser. I think that is this Friday. We'll get some more information on that for you guys. If you're looking for a job, go to 2020census.gov/jobs. Be a census taker. Apply online right now. So if you guys looking for a job, if you're a homemaker, looking for something part-time, most of these jobs are going to be for next year. They just look for your application. Go to 2020census.gov/jobs. Be a census taker. Census come up every 10 years. It's very important that we participate in the process. For every individual that fills out that census form, I think $2,100 come back to that community. We want to make sure that we all are documenting. It's crucial that we get as much funding coming back to our community as possible. These are our tax dollars. They come back to, help with roads, schools, the total infrastructure on the county, city level. Let's participate in the process. Also, 2020 elections coming up. We got a full list of guests coming up this week. A full list of guests coming in, without a doubt. And so it's 8:56. Make sure you guys enjoy yourself today. Thank you for chiming into the Boss Morning Show. Hopefully you guys learn a little bit about a girl's secret. Make sure you pick up that book. Oh yeah, we're gonna just we're just gonna chill, y'all. Boss with us.
Join us in Omaha, Nebraska for a night of praise. Heavenly voices filling the Jocelyn Art Museum's Witherspoon Concert Hall. By Andrea Johnson, Tasha Page Lockhart,
I'm different, y'all. I'm not the same. Ever since I met
the Williams Singers. November 23rd, doors open 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 7. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. This is a North Omaha Foundation production.
Corporate America, entrepreneurs, supplier diversity professionals, and the diverse business community. Get ready for the Premier Business Opportunity Exchange. Register now for the 2019 Building Bridges Conference brought to you by the Mountain Plain Minority Supplier Development Council. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Guest speaker includes billionaire Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline. Meet Corporate America, CHI Health, Creighton University, Turner Construction, ConAgra Brands, Union Pacific, First National Bank, Workwide Technology, J.E. Dunn, Zones, and more. All happening on Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. CHI Health, Macaulay Fogelstrom Center, 12809 West Dodge Road, Omaha. For more information and to register, call 402-955-9141. Building bridges for today, tomorrow, and into the new decade. Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council is a proud sponsor of 95.7 FM. The Ball.
Join us in Omaha, Nebraska for a night of praise. Heavenly voices filling the Jocelyn Art Museum's Witherspoon Concert Hall. By Andrea Johnson, Tasha Page Lockhart,
I'm different, y'all. I'm not the the same. Ever since I met
The Williams Singers.
Doing what it feel like to tell them what it feel.
November 23rd. Doors open 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 7. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. This is a North Omaha Foundation production.
Corporate America, entrepreneurs, supplier diversity professionals, and the diverse business community. Get ready for the Premier Business Opportunity Exchange. Register now for the 2019 Building Bridges Conference, brought to you by the Mountain Plain Minority Supplier Development Council. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Guest speaker includes billionaire Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline. Meet Corporate America, CHI Health, Creighton University, Turner Construction, ConAgra Brands, Union Pacific, First National Bank, Workwide Technology, J.E. Dunn, Zones, and more. All happening on Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. CHI Health, Macaulay Fogelstrom Center, 12809 West Dodge Road, Omaha. For more information and to register, call 402-955-9141. Building bridges for today, tomorrow, and into the new decade. Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council is a proud sponsor of 95.7 FM, The Boss, Corporate America, entrepreneurs, supplier diversity professionals, and the diverse business community. Get ready for the Premier Business Opportunity Exchange. Register now for the 2019 Building Bridges Conference, brought to you by the Mountain Plain Minority Supplier Development Council. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Guest speaker includes billionaire Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline. Meet Corporate America, CHI Health, Creighton University, Turner Construction, ConAgra Brands, Union Pacific, First National Bank, Workwide Technology, J.E. Dunn, Zones, and more. All happening on Wednesday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. CHI Health, Macaulay Fogelstrom Center, 12809 West Dodge Road, Omaha. For more information and to register, call 402-955-9141. Building bridges for today, tomorrow, and into the new decade. Mountain Plains Minority Supplier Development Council is a proud sponsor of 95.7 FM, The Boss.
Good morning. Good morning. We are back and we are still black. Hey. we just enjoyed our chat with
Nicole Lewis
of A Girl's Secret. And A Girl's Secret, there's her book right there. She's left a lot of literature with us. If you guys are interested in attending those events she talked about, she does speak around the city. She's doing a young future CEO event, Young Entrepreneurs Girls, from ages 11 to 18, where they're going to be teaching young girls how to become entrepreneurs. There's all kind of information, good information, and skills that they're going to be gaining in this conference. So it's through Metro Omaha Women's Business Center, and the orientation is, let's see, there's do you want to be your own boss? So that's coming up. Registration, you can register today by calling 402-813-4459. She says it's still open to registration. So you guys call if you have your teen girls that want to become entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. From ages 11 to 18.
Yes. So we forgot to mention where you can find her book.
Mm-hmm. At the African bookstore on 33rd and Lake. And also, what is it? The Divine
Inspiration.
Divine Inspiration.
Down the street here.
But for the people that don't know where we're at, we off of 24th Street.
Right.
So
off of Lake.
Yeah.
So that is that. We thank you. That was a great conversation with my girl. Celebrate Diversity Job Fair is coming up October 23rd. I just wanted to shout that out real quick. Those of you who are looking for a job, this is hosted by Urban League of Nebraska. It's on Wednesday, the 23rd of October, 10 to 1. So you want to head over there for more information. If you're looking into the career in health or in construction, there seems to be a wealth of career opportunities in those fields. So if you are looking to look for a job in that area, come on out and talk with those professionals that will be out there waiting for you.
Okay. Also, I want to mention really quick. I know if anyone out there is like me, I have kids, so things tend to break. I have pieces of chairs that was supposed to be at my table that's broken up. Mm-hmm. So Omaha's doing a cleanup where they're taking mattresses, broken furniture pieces, big bulky things. And it's going to be over the course of the next 4 Saturdays. The first Saturday just passed, which was October the 19th, which was this past Saturday. And the next Saturdays are going to be November the 6th, let me get the dates right, so I won't mess up. November the 9th. Take that back. November 9th. November 16th and November 23rd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So again, items like broken furniture, appliances, tires. Getting tired of seeing them in the middle of the alleys. No. And mattresses will be accepted for free disposal. Normally it costs to dispose of these things because of the size that they are. So you can go on a map on the 2019 Omaha Fall Cleanup to get the locations. I did go to the link actually. And on November let me go back to my map. It's going to be at Kuntz Park on the November 16th date. So Kuntz Park, that's in our community. So from 9 a.m. Let me get the dates again. The time from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. November the 16th at Kuntz Park. So that's like a common place that everyone knows to go to. So make sure, again, if you have any tires or any big bulks of furniture, it's accepted for free disposal on that day, Saturday.
Nice.
So just make sure you get that truck. Call somebody right now. There's plenty of brothers out here with trucks. Just pull up at BJ's, Ames Convenience, Sinclair, Amco. Somebody gonna pull up in the truck. You already know how they gonna do.
Get rid of your junk.
Exactly.
This is the time to do it.
I'm definitely using it because I was gonna actually get one of those big. The one you put in your driveway.
The dumpsters.
Yes, thank you, dumpster. This free. I'm paying my homeboy $20-$30, and there we go.
Dump it. And that is all I have.
So clean up for the fall. Get that out the way before the snow hit on the floor, on the ground.
All right, Omaha. We'll be back with y'all tomorrow morning, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Make sure that you be careful out there today. Love yourself today, without a doubt. Love yourself today. Thanks again for A Girl's Secret. Make sure you go out and get the book at the African American Bookstore right up here on 33rd and Lake, and also Divine Inspiration right down here at, I think, 2118 North 24th Street, where the Fairdale Marketplace is. All right. Pick it up for those young ladies as well as young men that are dealing with any kind of abuse. My first job was in a group home, and so I know the real. Make sure you reach out to someone that you trust. If you don't get a ear from them, speak to someone else until you're heard. Omaha, Nebraska, love yourself. Boss with us.
Boss with us.
Join us in Omaha, Nebraska for a night of praise. Heavenly voices filling the Jocelyn Art Museum's Witherspoon Concert Hall. By Andrea Johnson, Tasha Page Lockhart, the Williams Singers. November 23rd, doors open 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 7. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. This is a North Omaha Foundation production. Join us in Omaha, Nebraska for a night of praise. Heavenly voices filling the